All right, guys. So everyone say hello to Jess. All
It's
right, Jess. Thank you so much for doing this today. Thanks for coming on to the Zilla patch and showing us, a little bit about you, and a little bit about your life, and raising awareness for this thing that not many people understand. First of all, let's just get a little bit of background on you. Um, Tell us a little bit about Jess, what Jess likes to do, what Jess gets up to, and a little bit about what who you are as a person. Give us a little bit of a rundown. Nothing crazy, nothing serious, just a little bit of fun.
um well, as you all know, I'm a twin, so Brittany, you you guys know who Brittany is. Um Basically, me as a person, I've grown dramatically when I found out I was sick, and just probably about 3 years ago, I decided to do a personal training course, and then finished that. Started to help people with their physical fitness and mental health because they've reached out to me because they were sick as well after my operations and all that as well. Um, I'm really into boxing at the moment. That's been a great de-stressor for me because stress is a major impact for my Crohn's, actually. So boxing, walking has been absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Good hobbies to have though. Fitness is always a good thing, especially for mental
yeah,
health, right? Fitness is like the one thing
definitely.
that the endorphin rush always drags you out of that hole you might be in, especially if you go
Yeah,
through something hard, right? I understand
yeah,
that too. Like, I mean, like me not having gone to the gym in a while now because of this lockdown. I can't do gym at home. I don't know if a lot of people are like that, but I cannot work out at home. I just don't have the motivation to do so. I used to, I just don't now, honestly. And the gym is my happy place. When I go there, I'm happy, and when I leave, I'm happy. But the problem is now I can't go there. And yeah, I noticed my physical fitness has gotten a little bit under the radar, and have struggled a little bit with it. But um, I do notice the lack of endorphins and the lack of motivation because I haven't been. So that's a real
yeah,
thing.
yeah, especially in lockdown right now as well. Lack of motivation is a big deal, but like I've told myself when I wake up, go to work, finish work, go for a walk. Like I have a set routine now during lockdown, but now when we get out of lockdown, that's going to change completely.
Yeah, I understand that. My routine is like totally upside down because like some weeks I'll be running on UK time, other weeks I'll be running on Australian time, other weeks I'll be running on US time. It just depends on who I'm playing games with in the week and who I'm streaming to during the week. So it always depends on what's going on in the week. Because with the business and that, it's just been a little bit flat. So it's a little bit of a nightmare for me at the moment. But it is what it is, and we have to continue on and make the most of it. And that's what this community is all about, because this has given me purpose. This has given me something to look forward to every day, and this has also given me something to build towards. So, you know, I'm a bit of a person who's always doing stuff, always. I can't sit still for more than 5 seconds, which you probably know. So I have this problem when I can't do it. But it's a little bit like yourself, like you with your fitness and everything, you're really into it. Let's go in a little bit deeper. So the fitness and everything that you talk about, you got driven to fitness because of your illness, correct?
Yeah,
And that was sort of the driving factor behind that. Was it because you loved fitness or because you love sport, or was it just because you wanted to be able to do it?
it was because I was so I could do it because when I was younger and when I was a teenager, I physically couldn't do it. I was so weak, so drained that my body couldn't handle it at all.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Um,
Yeah,
Well, I mean, look, let's give them a background of everything and go into it a little bit and you can talk to as little as much or as little as you want about anything. You know that this is a safe
yeah.
space for you. Everyone in the chat is here to listen to you and to learn about you and learn about this disease. So maybe give us a bit of a description on what the disease is and what causes it, and then go into maybe the past on how it's affected you and your life.
Yeah, okay. Well, Crohn's disease is a type of inflammatory bowel disease, and it's basically inflammation of the digestive tract, which can lead to like abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, rapid weight loss, and malnourished as well. When I was diagnosed with Crohn's when I was 9 years old, had no idea what it was. Like, I was just told that I was sick, and I went to doctor to doctor to doctor, went to a specialist in the UK, trying to figure out what's actually going wrong with me. And then we found a really good doctor when we were living in Singapore, and we went from there. So I was on like multiple drugs, like I was on steroids, they're trying different injections just to like ease my Crohn's disease. Then they didn't work. I was on special drinks to bring up my weight. And that, to be honest, when I was younger, I didn't really want to drink them. So
I can't
haven't
imagine they were
really.
very appetizing.
Oh no. They weren't. Definitely not. I used to actually tip them down the drain. I know it's a really bad thing to do, and I'm sorry, Brittany, that you're watching this and now you know that I did that when I was little. Sorry about that. But yeah, I did do that, and then they realized I'm not gaining weight, and that was the reason why. So I had to get an NG tube put through my nose, and that's how they had to feed me so I could gain weight. And I've probably had 3 NG tubes. So I had one when I was about 10, and then when I was in year 6, I had it twice in year 6. And talking about that, I was actually bullied in school because of it, especially online.
Mm-hmm.
Someone back in the day when I was in year 6 used to call me tube girl because I had a tube in my nose.
Real
And that was,
original. This is a real kid's insult, isn't
oh yeah.
it?
I'm like, oh, thanks. Great. So that wasn't best time for me when I was in school. Like it was a really hard time for me from basically year 4. Actually, no, it was year 3 all the way to year 12. So
Yeah.
I was on struggle street throughout my whole schooling. But I was very lucky that I was kind of in remission from about year 10 to 12. But when it hit year 12, I was like, it was a bit of a roller coaster because it was HSC. So I was stressed, and stress triggers my Crohn's, and then just went all to shit, basically.
Yeah.
And then we moved back to Australia, but I had to go back maybe a few months before we actually moved back so I could find a specialist in time, because it's like a 3-month wait to find a specialist apparently. Sort out my Medicare and all that, because we were living in Singapore for 16 years and then we're moving straight back to Australia after I finished high school. So it was a big move, and that was a lot of stress as well. But we found a doctor. He was great for maybe 7 years when we were there. And then I just went downhill so fast in 2016. It was around October, actually. I was coming back from a weekend away with my ex-boyfriend, actually. And he dropped me home and all that. He left. And then my stepmom goes to me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she goes, "Are you really okay?" I'm like, "No." So we went to the doctor, get a blood test. I knew that I was not well at all. I had to do this questionnaire, and it turned out I had depression at the time as well, which affected everything. And then, of course, I went back to work. And then my stepmom calls me when I was at work telling me that I had to go to the emergency room. So we went to the emergency room, and it turns out my blood count was dangerously low, that my organs were actually slowly starting to fail. And I was admitted to hospital for about a month and a bit. And me being me, telling the doctors, "Yeah, I'm fine, but I'm not." I had so many tests done, CT scans done, and being at the hospital, I was in the public part of the hospital, so they had all the student nurses and doctors. And in my small room, there was a doctor and the student nurses and maybe a student doctor, too many people telling me, like, really interested in my case, because they're probably not very familiar with Crohn's disease and how bad it can actually get if you're not on top of it. Like, it's my bad for not staying on top of it, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's also my fault that I went downhill, but also I'm actually grateful that I went downhill for a bit, because now, 5 years later, I'm someone who I've always wanted to be. I'm fit and healthy. I literally have no symptoms or anything. My recent operation that I had, they actually got all of my large intestine out. So basically, I'm basically a girl with one less organ, and I'm left with a permanent ostomy bag, which has been a lifesaver whatsoever. I was like, at first, I wasn't okay with it when they told me I was getting one, but then I was like, I can do things I couldn't do before. Basically, the year of 2016, I actually enjoyed Christmas for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And my birthday for the first time ever. Like, I wasn't in pain. I wasn't rushing to the bathroom because I was in pain. I actually got to sit down with the family, eat a proper meal, open presents, and just enjoy that special moment with them.
Yeah.
And I'm happy where I am now with everything that's happened.
It's super amazing. And it's like you've basically, like, it probably took a long time, I feel like, to come to terms with what your condition was. Like, it was like, it's one of those things that, like, it takes you a long time to register, like, that there's something wrong. So, like, it would have taken you a long time to be like, to admit that you had that issue in your head. Like, you knew the issue was there, but to face it mentally would have been very hard. That's probably why the depression would have kicked in. That's probably why you had all that extra anxiety and whatever it was that was dragging you down, because you were like, I can't believe that this is happening to me. Like, why is it happening to me, and why is it not happening to anyone else? And that, and I understand that completely. And that's probably the reason why you spend so much time talking about it and raising awareness for it, is because a lot of people would be in the position where they say, I can't believe this is happening to me. What did I fucking do to deserve this? And you're basically saying, here's the positive side of it, and this is what we can get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's big, because a lot of people in life and in general, when they fall, they can't always get back up, right? And that's why we need people like you. Because if we don't have people like you promoting these things and making people aware that there is life after an ostomy bag, or there is life after a Crohn's disease or any major operation, then, you know, that they can't pull themselves out of that hole by themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that's the reason I wanted to get you on. I wanted you to talk about it, because I think it's important that people know what is going on in relation to that, you know, and what is involved with it, and all that kind of stuff. And that's also, I believe, why you do your podcast.
Yes.
So do you want to tell us about the podcast?
My podcast, so I started my podcast with my friend of mine who I actually met through Instagram after maybe my first year with an ostomy bag. She reached out to me and she started this support group called Ostomingle. I went to my first one and we met, and there was probably maybe 10 other people there. And I was sitting down with her and I was chatting, like, maybe we should do a podcast. Like, I've always wanted to do a podcast because I think they're pretty cool. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, let's do it. So we were talking about it, but we never actually did it until, I think it was last year, we got our shit together and actually planned it, got our microphones, got our artwork, and got it sorted. So basically, our podcast is about life living with either Crohn's or colitis, and living with an ostomy bag, giving you as much advice on day-to-day life. Basically, there's episodes about pregnancy with it, there's fitness, there's like another operation that you can get called a J pouch, which unfortunately I can't do because I don't have my large colon anymore, so that's can't do that one.
Right.
So basically my podcast is very informative, and it's actually helped others in other countries. For example, someone in America reached out to me over Facebook and Instagram asking, what should I expect? Basically, I was quite ill when I first got mine. So I was weak as I was telling others, like, get fit and strong so your recovery time is X amount of days, basically. When I had my last operation, I was probably in hospital for 4 days, and Brittany was there. Like, I was in and out very quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so my podcast is very informative for everyone, children, teens, adults, the elderly. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's great. So what I'll do is with that too, guys, if you do want to listen to the podcast and you do want to check it out, I will post it in the Discord in the music and art section. So you guys can hit up there. I'm pretty sure it's in the general as well already, but I will put it in there and tag it at the top of the screen. The other thing I wanted to ask you as well, I mean, a little bit of a clarification for myself or anyone in the chat who might not know. What is the difference between Crohn's and colitis? I actually don't know.
Well, Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis are like they're both with how do I explain it? They're both inflammatory bowel diseases. But ulcerative colitis is more inflammation in the colon, and then Crohn's disease is the digestive system, basically.
Right. So like stomach tract and intestines.
Yeah. So because I've got Crohn's, I had ulcers like through my mouth, down my throat, in my stomach, all through my large intestine to basically my anus, basically. So they got rid of all of my large intestine, as I told you before. But another thing I didn't tell you is they got rid of my anus as well. So basically what I have, and I think it's quite funny. I call it
anything to do with buttholes is funny.
Yeah, I know. I call it a Barbie butt. So basically I don't have a butthole. It's a Barbie butt.
Right.
So if you look at a Barbie doll and you look at her butt,
it doesn't have a butthole.
There's no butthole.
Right.
So I don't have one.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go.
Look, it probably saves a lot of time. Like,
yeah.
It's convenient. Like, you don't have to go to the bathroom. Like, it's
great.
Straight up. So Britt has a question for you.
Okay.
Post the butthole talk. She is. Her question is: I am not being biased in any way, but how is your support system during your surgeries?
My support system is absolutely amazing. So when I was first in hospital 5 years ago, my stepmom was there, and then Brittany came as soon as she heard, which was great. And then my mum took the first flight from Singapore to Australia, and she was with me. As soon as she arrived, she was there until the end. So she was literally sleeping in the hospital with me until I was feeling better. And then, excuse me.
You're right.
Talking too much makes my throat dry.
It's true.
And then my other surgeries, my dad and stepmom were there for here and there, but Brittany, she's actually been the most supportive through it all. Like always, like she drove me for my last operation. She drove me to the hospital, waited with me till I went in, and then was with me until I came out, until she basically had to leave. So she's my number one supporter, and I love her.
Yeah, which is awesome.
She's amazing. Yeah.
I mean,
love you, Brittany.
I feel like she probably asked that question because she wanted a little bit of A little bit of a gas up, you know. Like that's all right. We love a good gas up. So I mean, it's an interesting experience that you share with us, and it's an interesting like situation you've gone through in life. Nowadays, obviously, with the ostomy bag and everything like that, you're able to do literally anything and everything an old person can do, right?
Yeah,
Which is pretty
everything.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't affect like when you go swimming or anything like that, or it doesn't affect anything like that, like
Nope.
no.
The ostomy bags are waterproof, which is pretty great.
Yeah,
It doesn't affect anything at all.
yeah, nice. And when you were going through like everything when you were younger and stuff, did you reach out to any other organizations that might have helped you, or did you just kind of go with it and just hope that it would go away or whatever like that?
I didn't when I was younger, I didn't reach out to anyone because I had no idea what it was at the time
Mm.
until I got older and I'm actually moved back to Australia. That's when I started to reach out to support groups to understand what this disease is, because I was young when I was diagnosed, so all I knew was I was just sick and I'd always have stomach pains and always have to run to the bathroom, basically.
Yeah.
So the only time I got support from people was probably back in 2015, at least, when I started to reach out to people. And then I've become really good friends with people in the last 5 years who have ostomy bags as well. I'm even friends with some people in the UK and also America, and we chat here and there. Hopefully one day we can actually meet up
Yeah.
after we can travel again. So yeah.
And so it doesn't prevent you from travel or anything like that, or
Nope. I was very excited. My first trip with an ostomy bag was to Sri Lanka, and the first thing I said to my mum was, because there was so many long car rides from one hotel to another hotel, and then we did a safari. I was like, I don't have to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't have to like worry about and plan things ahead, figuring out where a bathroom is and all that, like I
yeah.
used to do. I could actually enjoy the holiday stress free.
Yeah, because it would have been really debilitating if you were any long car ride would have been a nightmare. Any plane ride, anything
Yeah,
like that would have been
exactly.
a pain in the ass, really. Like
Yeah.
horrible experience. But I mean, look, I'm glad that you're happy, and I'm
Mm.
glad that everything. I mean, look, from a worst case scenario to a best case scenario, you've literally hit the nail on the head, haven't you? Like
Yep,
when
I
it comes to
definitely
that,
have.
and that's why I love the positivity that you give and all this information you can share with people on ways to deal with this. Like it's really cool. It's a token to you and a token to the strength you have as a person, because like I don't think many people could do it. And like you've gone straight into the fitness thing, and now you're like you're one of the fittest people I know. Like I've seen your boxing and stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't want to get in front of you. Like, we get in trouble. Just a few kind words in the chat. Ken's here. Holty's here. A few of our favourite people. Academic says that's amazing. Seeing so many doctors before finding out that one could help. You must feel so alone having a rare disease. It's awesome that you could help others. So they have at least one to talk and to learn from. Joe says, Jess, you have an amazing story. Be strong and live life to its fullest. Adam's great stream tonight, buddy, but unfortunately I'm off to bed. It's all good, Joe. I know you have an early start. Thanks for coming in. Brittany has redeemed another question because apparently she's the only one who redeems questions. She would like for you to talk briefly about supporting others and elaborate on that point.
How do I support others? Well, for me, when I support others, I either reach out to them or I get involved in charity events, basically. I'm pretty close with some people at the Crohn's and Colitis Australia. So I've been in touch with them a few times, reaching out and going to their support groups. I've actually been on some Zoom calls probably about 3 weeks ago with Crohn's and colitis, just talking with other kids and teens, what they're going through. But most importantly, when I was in hospital and when I got discharged, like the first time I was in hospital 5 years ago, one of my stoma nurse, so she's the one who's like helped me with my ostomy bag and all that, get the right fit and everything. She reached out and asked if I could talk to, I think there was 3 teenagers who were going through what I was going through. So they were all going through the operation that I went through.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to, I'll meet up with them and have a chat with them. And so I did. And they're doing absolutely amazing right now, which I'm pretty happy with. But the one that I want to talk about the most is there's this little girl who I met pre-lockdown, so maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago. She's only 7. She doesn't have Crohn's or colitis. She does have something wrong with her digestive system, but she has a permanent ostomy bag, and she's only 7 as well. So her mum actually reached out to me. She stumbled across my page one day because she was mutual friends with one of my friends and reached out, and she told me that her daughter looks up to me, which I felt blessed that a 7-year-old was looking up to me, because I was just showing off what I could do with the bag and stuff. With her, she likes to show it. For me, I don't like to show it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I just continue with my life with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's not everyone would understand it, I feel. There'll be a lot of people in the world that don't. And this is why awareness about something like this is so important. Because I reckon 90% of people in the chat didn't know anything about an ostomy bag until you started talking about it. So, and if someone saw it on you, say at the beach, or when you're out, at the gym or something like that, they would have questions and they would have judgments on that. And that must be difficult as well, like to get around that. That's probably why you don't show it as much, right?
Yeah, I definitely don't show it that much, but I did show it once. Like maybe there was like the top part of it that was showing, but no one comes up to you and asks, what's that?
Yeah.
Or anything. It's like these days ostomy bags are quite common. But the first time I actually showed it in public was down in Bondi Beach. There was a mural that one of my friends did of like people lying on the beach, and there was some lying on the beach with an ostomy bag. So I decided to stand in front of it and basically show it, and multiple people were walking past, a few people were doing their thumbs up. So that was probably the only time I actually showed it.
Yeah.
And then like I have my moments where I never want to show it, like I just want to be like everyone else, but deep down I know I'm not. But I'll build up that confidence again, like I did down at Bondi Beach, to show it again, hopefully over summer when I wear a bikini.
That's the time. That's the time.
Yeah, that's the time.
You know what though? Like it's a token to anyone who can do that. Like I mean, like again, it's an education thing. Like if people don't know about it and they don't understand it, they either don't like appreciate the struggle it might be for you, or they might not understand why it's such a big deal. Like, so a lot of people would look at it from the perspective of, a narcissistic perspective. They're like, oh my God, who cares? And then there's also other people that would be like, we have so many questions, please answer them all right this second. There's always people like that. And that's why you're raising awareness. I believe you're also raising money for this as well.
I am. So September, I'm raising awareness for much needed funds for Australians living with Crohn's and colitis. So basically, I've been keeping active during this month for the Live Fearless Challenge. That's what it's called. So basically, I want to achieve 150 Ks for the whole month of September. but I've already hit over that goal. I think I'm at 168 now.
Right.
I think. Yeah, 168 Ks, and I've raised almost $1,000, which is
Super
even
amazing.
better. But I'm actually going to continue walking every day to build up the Ks until the end of the month to see what I get to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. And I mean, like, that's like really cool because like being someone who's into fitness, that must be like a dream. So you're raising money doing exactly what you would normally do.
Yeah, basically. I love my walking.
Yeah. I know. That's awesome. I love that. And like that's another reason. Like I can relate to that now because like I love doing this. Like I love being on Twitch. I love gaming. Gaming has been a part of my life since I was a kid, and all I ever do is game. Like my mother said to me when I was a kid, she said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to get paid to play video games, Mum." And she goes, "That's not a job. Pick a job." And I was like, "I want to get paid to play video games, Mum." And so I just end up reading books and like become a tradie, right? But now I'm literally getting paid to play video games, and I have this platform that I have all these legendary people in that I can go and say, hey guys, this is charity that I want to talk about, and this is charity I want to promote, and this is charity I want to raise money for this week, and they do. Because they all can either relate to it in some way, shape, or form, they understand, or they're all just very, very, very humble and beautiful and good people. And that's what makes me happy. It makes me happy that I can assemble this bunch of fucking legends to come forward and show their support to something just by me asking them to do so. And it's like, again, with like this week in our stream, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, which is something that I'm very passionate about when it comes to mental health, because every single person in this chat is affected by something, whether it be anxiety, depression, some sort of social anxiety, some sort of, just social aspect they can't handle themselves, suicidal thoughts, all this kind of stuff that's very important to address, because if you don't address it, it can lead to horrible things. And we've all been, a lot of gamers and a lot of people in my position have been bullied at school. They have been harassed in some way, shape, or form. They have had mental breakdowns, or they have been attacked mentally, physically, whatever it might be in their lives, and they play video games to escape that, right? They play video games to escape all the bullshit that they've had to put up with in their life, and they don't necessarily always address the problem or seek out the help that they may or may not need. So it's important to raise money for something like this, and everyone in the chat who is in the same position realizes that. And that's the reason why we've been able to raise $505 in literally 3 days. So like a couple of weeks ago, we raised $1,000 for Headspace in 12 hours. So like I basically said to everyone, I said, look, I want to do a 12-hour stream and I want to raise money. I don't care how much money we raise. I don't care how little we raise, how much we raise, whatever it might be. We're raising at least $1, and I'm going to give it straight to Headspace, because right now with this pandemic and with all these young kids at home, because it's supportive to young children, like children 12 to 25 or young adults, right? For mental health centers, support systems, all that kind of stuff. And I said to everyone, I don't care if we raise $1 or $10,000. I don't care. We just need to do this and just see how we go. We raised $1,000 in 12 hours. I've never seen anything like it. This is just, Twitch can be used for great things.
Yeah.
It's a platform that can be used for great things. It's also a platform that can be used for some fucking terrible things. But you just got to pick your space, pick your direction, pick the place you want to be at, and pick how you address it. And for me, Twitch, right, in the last like 2-3 months of lockdowns, Twitch has literally been the saving grace to my life. Like if I didn't have Twitch, I would have gone insane. Like I probably would have had a lot of issues. I've had some down days, I've had some up days. Like like I said, the business is not doing too fantastic, but it'll bounce back, right? Yeah. It'll bounce back. Hopefully I don't go broke before then, but it'll bounce back, right? Because I got a positive mindset on it, and I've got everything I need, the tools and equipment to get me through, right? But it has been a hard time, regardless. It has been a little bit degrading, and a lot of people are in the same boat, and that's why we're raising money for something that literally is important to all of us.
Definitely.
And in relation to that, you're raising money for something that is important to you. And so that's why I thought it was so important, especially during a week where we're raising money for a charity, that I get you on and talk about these kind of things. So people become aware of, like, you know, different things in life that they might be able to throw their support behind, or different things in life they might be able to, you know, grow their knowledge on that they didn't know about before. So I think it's a really good thing we're doing here.
Yeah, I love it. Great.
It's so good. So on a lighter note, I mean, if anyone else has questions, I'll just read the chat real quick before I address it. Bob just made someone's day because Canwick has just received a gifted subscription from Bob. Bob is one of the biggest supporters on this channel, and Ken was on the podcast last week. So that was a very good podcast about business and about life experience and all the positive things in life. That was a very good podcast. Kenwick says, in relation to that, Jess, you're an incredible person. The world is beautiful because of you, and people like you who have the strength to empower others. On behalf of the world, thank you for being amazing. So,
thank you.
Laura has some kind words. You meet some amazing people on this platform. And Groovy has refreshed his lurk. Thank you, Groovy. Alternatively, look, other things I want to address, maybe on a lighter note. Do we want to talk about the jumper you're wearing? Look, you've obviously wanted to stir me up, right? And you've obviously wanted to bring up what you understand in my life is very important to me, which is sport. So,
Tampa Bay, bro.
Why Tampa Bay? Why Tampa Bay?
To be really honest with you, I got this jumper because they won the Super Bowl last year. Okay. That's the reason why, because it was on special at a vintage store in Surrey Hills. But my go-to team is the Denver Broncos, and Brittany knows that. So you're
wearing a jumper of a team that you don't support.
Yep.
That is the most random thing. So I just thought that it was a Tom Brady knockback. Like, you were just like, look, I love Tom Brady, so I'm gonna wear the
he's
Tampa
great,
Bay jersey.
And plus, I love red as well. Red's my favorite color.
It's all a very simple thing.
I had to get it because it was red.
No, 100%. Yes, Ken, I am an Indianapolis Colts fan. Have been for a very long time. And look, I'm not going to talk about it. It's one of those things. It's like in life and in sport. Sport is life to some people, and I truly believe that. As is my rugby league, because obviously being a big Penrith Panthers fan, I can't fathom what's going on in the finals right now. I'm hopefully that they'll turn it around.
Roosters, bro, Roosters.
And yeah, this one's a chicken. So I do agree that there is some great things in life. Sport is one of them. But I'm questioning the jumper choice. I really am. Welcome to Simon, who's in the chat. Unfortunately, I'm a Panthers fan. Yes, Koshi. Unfortunately, I mean, look, to you, probably unfortunately. We do have a raid coming in. It's not Alpha raiding with a party of 6. Thank you, Alpha, for the raid. Shawnee's here. Let's go. Now I know who sent it. Good night, all. Enjoy talking about mental health and seeing all you wonderful people. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Aussie. I love you. Bunnies all the way. Koshi, get out of my chat. Alpha rated is Woodland Cashew. Welcome in. Thank you so much for that. It's not Alpha. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate the raid. Little SMG vibes. Toko's in the chat as well. Toko is one of our friends from overseas as well. Let's go the Finns, says Ken. He is a Dolphins fan. Do you stream tomorrow? I'm not sure yet. I will post it in the Discord. Don't give the girl credit. It was all me. Fair, Alpha. Fair. Thank you so much for the raid. Can we get a shout out? Another shout out for our friend. It's not Alpha. And we may even get a clip there as well. I hope Panthers get a rematch with us in the grand final. If we both make it, it would be dope. Yep, 100%. It would be dope. I would like to go back and beat the Bunnies after that absolute travesty from last weekend, where they literally bashed us into resistance. It was not a fun experience to watch. No worries, Fish. I appreciate it. I'll see you then. It's too good. It's too good. So a couple other things. What I want to talk about the boxing. I want to talk about the boxing because like I've always thought about doing it. Right. I have done kickboxing and stuff in the past. Like I've talked to you about that before. How you going with that? Like I've seen some photos on Insta and that kind of stuff.
Well, during lockdown, it hasn't been going.
Yeah, obviously.
Unfortunately, because my boxing gym is closed. Unfortunately. But I have been doing one-on-one sessions here and there when I can and when I can afford it, obviously. I literally got into boxing. A friend of mine, Dave, actually brought me to this boxing gym that's in Potts Point. And since then, I've absolutely loved it. So before lockdown, I was boxing maybe 6 times a week at my boxing gym.
Yeah.
And then doing a one-on-one on top of that every week as well. And yeah, I can't wait to actually get back into it properly when gyms open again.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. But yeah, it's my go-to cardio basically.
100%.
And also walking.
See, I used to box at the gym when I was going to the gym, and honestly, you could do it for like 20 minutes and you are dead. Like it is super high cardio. What do they call it? HIIT, right?
Yep.
I know. I did the course. All right. I know what all the stuff is. That's honestly just like. Have you when we'll talk about that too. Like when you obviously did the PT course. Like you did your Cert 3 and your Cert 4. Where did you do your PT course? I know I did mine online mostly, but
I did mine at the Fitness Institution of Australia. So they had a location in St. Leonard's, and that's where I went. And I met amazing people there, and I'm still friends with them now. And it was hard. Like, it was really hard. My anxiety was really bad because it's all new for me. And, like, getting through it without basically having the stomach pain that I used to when I was younger, when I was going through, like, assessments and stuff. But I passed with flying colours. I worked at Anytime Fitness for a little bit. But then the owner was a bit of a douche, so I left that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I trained a few of my friends one-on-one for a while. And then COVID happened, so hasn't been going. Haven't done anything with my PT cert for a while, actually.
Yeah, because COVID has ruined that entire sector, hasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So what's the fallback on that? Like, what is the fallback for that situation? Like, what? Obviously, you're getting your government money with your like incentive base. I think it's like $1,000 a week or whatever it is. And then, but what is the reparation like when it comes to the time frame in which you are going to go back to doing this? Like, or you guys are all just sitting around just wondering what the fuck's going on?
So like I know a few PTs who are still doing PTs, and now you can do group training. So the trainer and 4 other people, but fully vaxxed, unfortunately. But I'm fully vaxxed, so it's fine. But at the moment, I'm not going back to doing PT for a while. At the moment, I'm still at my other job, which is at a before and after school care centre. I've been there for 10 years now, and I'm potentially getting a job promotion, hence why I'm staying, because the new boss wants me to stay. Okay. So I'm staying, but I will most likely do PT on the side.
Awesome.
To start off with, yeah.
Oh, you're going to have a goal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. Just quickly in the chat, I missed Laura's message, Britt, so if you want to repost it, I can read it. I obviously missed it because the chat is moving fairly fast and I can't read everything. I'm not a fucking Superman. Pulpamimo with the resub at 10 months. 10 month subs. Our baby is 1 month old. Thank you so much, Pulpa, for that resub. I appreciate it. Palper is one of the original founding subscribers of the channel. He has that little like first badge next to his name. One of 10 founding members of the channel. He subscribed to my channel when I had 50 people in it. 50 total followers I had, and Palper Mimo was number, I think, like 30 something. So he's one of the first people that subscribed to the channel. And we now have nearly 1,400 followers. So not a bad effort on behalf of all you awesome people. Koshi says that must be annoying, Jess, knowing you're older by 3 minutes.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's like a bragging thing. Or
Yeah.
Academic says, you both seem strong to me. It takes a lot to be battling a disease, but it also takes a lot to be supportive and be there to have a sister that's sick. It takes great strength from both of you. Savage says that he just got his vaccination, not his COVID one, but a different one. Both arms are dead as fuck. No Fortnite for you. Brittany says, well, this is Laura said earlier that I missed. I've learned so much already. Jess, you've been through so much, and to be in the mindset you are right now and the impact you have on people's lives is truly amazing. What a woman.
Thank you.
So that's very nice. All very kind words, because this community is goated and we're all fucking awesome. And happy to have Jess on board in our community, because, you know, it's people like you that make this community. It's people like you in the world that make a difference. And I want to make sure that everyone hears what each other has to say. 110%. So what's the plans for the future? What are you looking for in the next, say in the next year? I know a year is a year is a long time, and it's quite an extension of life. But if you can think to yourself, like, imagine a world without COVID, imagine a world without barriers of borders and all this other bullshit that we have to go through now. What are you going to be doing in a year's time?
In a year's time, I would like to actually travel and actually raise awareness that way as well. I would like to go to America. I haven't been there in like 16 years to see my stepmom's side of the family. But also in a year's time, I'd actually like to have my podcast, more episodes basically of podcasts, because we're on a break right now. But I also maybe more TV interviews, because I had a TV interview this year with my podcast buddy on Studio 10, which was great. So we raised awareness for that. But basically traveling is what I want to do in a year's time, because so I can like by myself basically and enjoy that, because I can.
Yeah, I get you. And like, it's just freedoms now.
Yeah.
Because you're finally able to enjoy your life because of all the stuff you've been through, and you're finally at a point where you can actually do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Guys, let's get some love in the chat. Let's get some hype in the chat for Jess. Look, is there anything else you would like to touch on? Let us know about the podcast. Let us know about the condition. Anything else we haven't covered already that you'd like to touch on before we go? Anything?
Anything? I think I've spoken about everything.
Yeah?
I feel like I have.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Jess? Otherwise, we'll let Jess on her merry way. Great interview, by the way. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for telling us all about it. I think it's a great way to raise awareness about something that no one knows anything about, or that people might not know as much about. But now everyone in this chat and everyone on our channel and everyone on the YouTube channel is going to learn, because obviously the YouTube we cut the podcast for YouTube, and I put episodes up on YouTube. I also posted them to Twitter, so it's gonna be seen by a lot more people. And look, I'll send it to you first so you can watch it back and let me know. But so yeah, it's going to be a really good thing. It's going to help promote awareness about it. We're going to post all your links in the Discord, so you can also put it in the self-promote. You can put your Instagram, you can put your Facebook, you put all the stuff that you would like people to follow, whether it be any handles you have there. Also, I would like you to post up your charity links. And
do.
also your podcast. Is it on Spotify or is it?
It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. Just research Ostomingle, the podcast, on Google, and you'll find it.
Awesome. And so one question left from Laura. Jess, did you have to change your food diet to match your new lifestyle?
Yes, I have. There's actually a few things I can't eat anymore because it causes a blockage and I feel very uncomfortable and I'll probably look pregnant if I had it. So yes, it's definitely changed.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah.
So like high fiber stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's corn, capsicum, I can't have broccoli, cauliflower. So I drink a lot of vegetable juices, fruit juices, just to get those nutrients in instead of actually eating them.
Yeah, because they have those greens supplements that you can have.
Yeah.
Like I used to have them all the time when I went to the gym. They taste like ass, but they are really
true.
really good for you. So if only they made them taste nice. Wouldn't that be
that would be so good.
Wouldn't that be great? Like, they're like, no artificial flavors, preservatives, whatever. Yeah, that's fine, but they taste like grass. So it's not exactly an enjoyable experience, is it? Thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
If anyone else would like to learn more about Jess's podcast, Ostomingle, is on Spotify. If anyone else would like to ask Jess any more questions, Jess is in the Discord now. So if anyone has any other questions about anything to do with the disease, anything to do with the donation side of things, or you want to make a donation to Jess's cause, please DM her in the Discord or in the general, and she will address the questions for you there. In the meantime, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
It's all right. I'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye. Let's go. Let's go. What an interview. What a great person that is. Did we enjoy that, guys? Did we have a good time? Did we learn something? I feel like we learned something. What do you reckon? I think we learned a lot. I think a lot of people in the chat didn't even know what Crohn's was before we had a conversation.